abuyog.
Barangay Abuyog is situated in the eastern district of Sorsogon City within the Bicol region. It comprises of 7 purok or zones and serves as the crossroads for routes heading towards Sorsogon City, Gubat, and Kasiguran.
During the Spanish period, the leader of the barrio or cabeza de barangay implemented the rules and ordinances of the community, naming it after Saint Vincent de Ferrer.
Nabuhay si San Vincent de Ferrer kan 1350, 1300s pa, nabuhay na siya sa banwaan ng Valencia sa Espanya. Ikapat po siya sa 8 magtugang middle child. Talagang ginamit ka ng kagurangan ni San Vicente Ferrer, mas kinakaning nasa tiyan pa lang siya at sa iyang ina. Naging milagros-ulos ang buhay ni San Vicente Ferrer, mas kinasa tulak pa lang siya at sa iyang ina. May sarong story daw, habang pinag-uulog si San Vicente Ferrer at sa iyang ina. Bulan-bulan, nanilang niya terminal bibisita na kahatag ko ni pagkaon ng Diyos sa rumputan na babae. Bulan-bulan na yung bibigyan sa iyan. Kasi sa mga beses, naghagad ko ina ni San Vicente Ferrer, nagpamadji duman sa buta na babae. Para kay San Vicente Ferrer, nasa tulak pa, hindi pa yun nagpapakain. Ngunyan, ang initungan buta na babae na rani sa liyan ng ina, na ito, magalang ang ito sa liyan ng ina ni San Vicente Ferrer. Kasi, habang initungan buta na babae, nagsipa San Vicente Ferrer. Ngunyan, ano po nangyari? Miraculously, na ayaw po ang buta na babae. Sa pangyayari nito, nakakiling, nakakita ng mga tura na babae. Nasa tulak pala ni San Vicente Ferrer, pero naging milagros na ang sa iyang buhay. Ginamit na siya ng mahal na Diyos para maging alihan ng grasya. Naging instrumento na siya ng mahal na Diyos para maparahay ininagawa. Parang minsan sa mga pamungsong katarang ni San Vicente Ferrer, UP, no? Sabi niya, whatever you do, think not of yourself, but of God. Whatever you do, think not of yourself, but of God.
They celebrated their barrio fiesta every 4th and 5th day of April, when the Hermana Mayor decided to change the position of the Puerto Mayor of the church. They also decided to change the date of the fiesta to June 4 and 5, because at that time, there was abundant living, especially in fishing.
According to the oldest people of the barrio, the church had a very big antique bell. When the bell rang at 4 in the morning, the sound traveled a great distance. Many people, together with their products, traveled to this barrio to worship God and trade their products. This included Muslim traders from Mindanao, drawn by the sound of the bell, who brought their goods and enriched the community.
When American soldiers arrived in this place after defeating the Spaniards in a war, they asked a man working in a rice field about the name of the place. Since the man didn't understand the question, he answered Bubuyog, because he thought the American soldier was asking about the insect making noise in a tree. The American soldier said, "Ah, Bubuyog," which later on became Abuyog.
The name Abuyog is also said to be derived from the native words Burunyog, Bunyog, or Andoyong, traits describing the insect Bubuyog, which mean wandering from one place to another, unity, oneness, helping one another, or bayanihan.
Nagbatog ang Bubuyog Festival 2005. So sometime na ito, ako sa to SK chairman. Anapot baga nano kay nagbutang kita sa Bubuyog Festival. Sometime na kasi ito sa SK chairman sa talaga sa mga baro-barangay may mga festival. Nauna sana ang Pinagbuhat Festival. Nag-celebrate sa nabuhatan. Ang Gatbu Festival, Sundang Festival sa Gatbu. So, sabi ko manili sa sabi ko sa time na SK ako, sabi ko din sa Barangay Buyog. Kung nagigibo nga ni sa iba na barangay mag-festival, kay dili tamang kayahon. Pero sa objective sa Bubuyog Festival is siyempre lalo na sa mga kabataan niyan, madumduman nila, din kita naghali. Saro pa sa objective na magkaigwa kita sa sin identity nito tawag. Kumbaga, pag nakita kita, sa Abuyog yan. Pag sinabing Bubuyog Festival, sa sa Abuyog. Siyempre, i-promote mo ang local tourism. So, habang may mga activities kita, damo activities, ang tendency kasi ang tao mapakali sa aton. So, mas kita, mas makikilala kita. So, dida pa lang sa activities or adlaw, naipakita sa mga taga-Abuyog, ang saro na karakteristik sa saro na Bubuyog, ang pagkaburunyog. Kaya kay nasabi ko, dili man lang kay barangay dida nagpapa-activity ang simbahan, di ba? Minsan ang naglalakat niyo Santa Cruzan kauro po nila Santa Cruzan, ang eskwelahan naghatag activities, amin ang alumni, di ba? Nag-alumni ang high school lang elementary, ang SK naghahatag man sin activities para mabilog mo na May 20 to June 5 damo na mga organization na nagbuburulig, kaya nagiging 6-6 siya. Kumbaga sa activities 6-6 siya. Ako man lang message ko sa inda na kung ano man ito ng mga magayon na mga nagkabarutuan sa mga nagkauro na lang pagpunduhon diretso. Kaya siyempre para sa din Bubuyog Festival naghahatag din sa ato nila doon summer, di ba? Magparamukmuk magad sa balay. Kung may kitaong kita mas mayad, di ba? Nan layman sa part man nato layman makabuburing.
In our exploration of the cultural heritage in Abuyog, we encountered many individuals, including Tatay Ange, renowned as the oldest resident in the barangay at the age of 111.
Initially, we planned to interview Tatay Ange for our documentary film about Abuyog and his life experiences over the years. However, due to his advanced age, Tatay Ange's hearing and speech have been affected, posing challenges to communication.
Nonetheless, we had the privilege of meeting Naiya, Tatay Ange's daughter, who graciously shared insights with us.
Nag-uuma sa kalubihan, tauhan, kalubihan, sa kabasaan, tapos siya sin mga nipa.
Pero taon na po siya?
111.
Ano pong full name ko?
Angel.
Angel na
Angel Colliantes Carlin. Wala na asawa, namatay na. Kami na, bago nga bakit 7, 5 na lang kami, namatay na ang dua. Sana?
Ano po nagkadi po ang brigada?
Oo, 2 na bilis nagkadi kay Anikadua. Ay, ikatulungani. Nagkadi primero, nag-interview, Anikadua. Nag-interview mo ito mga kuhan mang komento sa eskwela. Ang ikatulo, nagkatagsingan mo. Bugas ng prutas ng maksan propi kabrigada. Ito, kay irog sa naan edad. Kadto, sa paan kuha, mga gulay, wala sa na kuha. Ay, kahit sa bulod kami, pero may gulay. Hindi lang ka magsira.
Additionally, Tatay Ange's three sons participated in our interviews, providing valuable perspectives on Abuyog's cultural heritage.
Engaging with our own community is essential, and immersing ourselves in its history, rich culture, and ongoing events is crucial. Work immersion is the key to understanding our own barangay and uncovering what we still need to know about Abayog's current situation and progress over the years.
Immersion also helps us discover a wealth of information about Abayog's traditional beliefs, such as what to do and what not to do during mourning and pregnancy.
Additionally, people in Barangay Abayog's livelihood are fishing and agriculture. Others also have sari-sari stores. We have also gathered information about their cultural practices during seasons like Holy Week, Christmas, New Year, and many more. This immersion boosts knowledge and strengthens unity in Barangay Abayog. At last, I strongly believe in the importance of caring for the community we live in.
We learn so much from our work immersion because many residents have shared their own knowledge and experience with us, including the cultures that are slowly fading. They mention how hard it is to preserve the culture nowadays because many young people are not interested anymore. We have so many cultures here in Abayog that people used to practice, but after several years, the new generation itself is the reason why it's no longer being practiced. It is true that people are the ones who can put an end to cultural practices, but they are also the key to preserving them. Preserving cultural practices is something so essential to people because it represents the community itself. It shows that preservation is in the hands of people living in a community. If people will continue to practices and introduce them to other people, this will be a big help in preserving cultural heritage.
During the interview, I had the privilege of meeting many elders who possess a wealth of knowledge about the various beliefs and practices in our barangay. While I am familiar with some of these from what my parents have passed down, much of what was shared was entirely new to me. It was evident that many of the interviewees harbored a sense of worry and sadness over the fact that these traditions are fading away, with fewer people practicing them and even fewer believing in them, particularly among the younger generation, a sentiment that I share despite being one of those young people. This experience opened my eyes to the vast amount of untapped knowledge and undiscovered practices that still exist within our barangay.
The important realization that I've had during our 5-day community immersion is that being a cultural researcher or mapper is a very challenging task. It's a totally different experience out there in the community from just doing your research inside a school. You really have to immerse yourself into the community, so you're also open to a lot of risk factors such as a lot of heat and exhaustion. I can't even imagine how we were able to survive that without fainting. But it also helped a lot that we were immersed in our own barangay where we grow up because we're already familiar with the community, with the people, so it becomes easy for us to get along with them. This also served as an opportunity for us to get to know our barangay in a different way. We learned things we never knew existed in our community. Despite all the challenges, the knowledge and memories we had during our community immersion are priceless. The way the people are very hospitable and welcoming in their houses, the way they willingly share their knowledge with us, and the laughter we had while talking with them really broadened our perspective and knowledge about our own barangay and their way of life and how the people in the community really are. That's something that is incomparable to the challenges we face. That's something that a cultural researcher or mapper is blessed to have, the knowledge and the bond they build with other people. It's just sad to think that some of the values, beliefs, and practices we learn from them are slowly being forgotten by the new and younger generation. It's sad to think that maybe 10 to 15 years from now, this will only be part of our history and not our present. I hope the younger generation will be as eager to learn about all of this and as eager to preserve and continue this culture because this is part of our identity, and we can only appreciate these things once we learn them deeply.